Hey guys, this is Seventh Geek, and this is going to be my review of the DSi XL. Now, I've had 3 months of experience with the DSi XL because I imported it from Japan, and I'm going to give you my full thoughts on it. Now, since I've had 3 months of experience with it, I'd say that overall the quality is fantastic. I like it a lot. There are little problems that I think that are with it, such as I feel when I play games that require really real tactile use of the touchscreen and really efficient use of it, when I need to do it right away like that. I feel that games like Trauma Center and Meteos have a bit of input lag on the DSi XL. That is only my real big problem with the DSi XL. That, and I think it's a little overpriced, but then again, I bought the Japanese version, which made my total almost $250, whereas Americans only get it for $190. So you guys get a lot better deal than I did, but that's the price of waiting. So overall, I'd say my gaming experience on it has been excellent. I've had no problem with the screen, messing up the resolution. it Games like Retro Game Challenge, Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars, Pokemon, they look great on it. Only a little tiny bit of distortion on all of those games, and it made games like Nanostray actually look better on the DSi XL. And also games like not Tetris. I mean Lego Star Wars 2. I've also played a lot. I've also tried out every one of the features. Tetris Online works great on it. Everything about the system works fantastically with all the older DS games. And the only problems I really had is, games that required precision with the touchscreen. I also had a bit of the problem, but this is only a personal issue, getting adjusted to games like Sonic Rush that use both screens at the same time. And you have to, bounce your eyes back and forth. Making them bigger actually made that more difficult for me, but I think that's only a personal issue. Now, the things that they've improved on that I've seen since I've had a original DS and a DS Lite. I never owned a DSi. This is my first DSi console. So, one thing I think that they've massively improved on. My problem with Nintendo handhelds has always been the speaker and audio quality. But the DSi XL literally has to have the best external speakers I have ever used in a handheld device. Better than the iPod Touch, better than the PSP. It blows them out of the water how good the sound quality is. It's almost as good as my iMac external speakers built in. And I think that's amazing for a handheld. And I use it to play my music now whenever I want to play something externally. I barely use my iPod anymore because I don't know. I don't know. I have grown accustomed to the DS music player. So when I want to play a song, I'll play something here. I'll try to play something. What's doesn't I have like nothing but copyrighted songs on here? Well, I think Weird Al wouldn't mind. So let me find a Weird Al song. Let's see here. I Remember Larry. So if I want to play I Remember Larry, let me turn the volume up. And it's clear, loud, and I can hear it good. I can edit the audio on the fly. And I can even edit it to sound like stuff. I really enjoy the DS music player now, and with the improved quality in the speakers, I can actually use my DS as a music device, and it also works great with headphones, and I don't have distorted audio like I did with every single other Nintendo handheld in existence. They finally got the audio down, and that's the main thing I love about the DSi XL. The only problem with the music player I have is that it only accepts the AAC format for music. However, if you have iTunes, it's literally a right click and a convert away. So it's not that big of an issue. I have 40 something songs on my SD card currently, and I listen to it all the time using my DSi, and it's fine. Now, how big is the screen? How big is the DSi screen? Well, I'll get my iPod Touch here. Open this up. It's bigger than the iPod Touch. Each screen is bigger than the iPod Touch. So, both screens are pretty huge. I love using this thing as a music player because, I can actually use it properly and I don't get distortions in the sound quality like I do on the iPod Touch and especially on the PSP. I mean, the PSP and iPod Touch were really good before the DSi because, the original DS's audio quality was utter crap, even compared to the iPod Touch's speaker and the PSP speaker. But now, Nintendo has nailed sound quality. And I think that's the best thing about the DSi. I Another big problem with the DSi though is that if you buy a DSi game and your DSi ever breaks, you can't re-download it. The license is only per system. So I can't download it on an SD card and use it on any other DSi or do anything like that. It's only available per the system. It only works on the system. That's a huge problem with DSiWare, and that's why I don't buy anything on there. And well, I have the Japanese version, so I wouldn't buy anything on there anyway. So that's why that wasn't a really big concern to me. You can also, whoa, it's actually listening to me. The main screen you can do just like the older DSi, except the screens are big. Now, some people have asked me if the size is an issue. Now, personally, it's not an issue for me, but I think that's maybe because I'm accustomed to this, from back in the day, and the DSi is literally only a little tiny bit bigger than the original Game Boy, folded. So I have no issue with the size at all. I also have a Zen Creative MP3 player that's basically the same size as this. So, to me, it's not that big. I don't see it as an issue. Some people may see it as an issue. I personally have had no problem with it. Overall, I recommend it if you have big hands because this is the most comfortable version of the DS I've ever had. The fat gave me a little bit of hand cranks after a while. I felt the DS Lite was too small and I had to hold it like this. And this feels perfect. This feels natural in my hands. The screens are big. Everything's easy and clear to read. There's no real distortion, which people were trying to say there was going to be. And I think it's a great purchase. Just be wary of input lags with some of the older games that weren't designed for the DSi and kind of require precision use of the touchscreen. That's the only main complaint I have aside from DSiWare's problems and the fact that I have to convert files to play music on it. Is it worth the $190? I'd say if you want comfort in using your handheld, I think that it's worth the extra money just to spend and to use it on the DSi XL. So that's my review of the DSi XL. I think it's a really great purchase. I've loved my purchase. I've used the hell out of it. I was playing some Mario and Luigi, and it's really a great purchase. I recommend it if you have big hands and you want a comfortable sized DS that won't give you hand cramps or having to hold it in a weird way. But that's just my personal seeing. If you don't think that those features are worth an extra $60 or however much it is to buy the this DSi XL over the regular DSi, then don't do it. Because if those features aren't useful to you, don't spend the extra money. But I personally think that the DSi XL was worth every penny, and I paid $250. But I paid the same for a PSP, so I'm just a sucker. Same amount.